All right. Good evening. This is Penelope Flynn, co-host and moderator of Discussions from the Other Hood, along with the remainder of your Blerdsassins Next Door. We got Sonia, Otto, Cranston. I don't know, Nikki. I guess you probably flamed out on this because I know this was a dialysis day. But we are now here in the new year. It is January 4th, and we didn't get to talk about it last time because we were here with a power outage. So now we are getting to talk about our New Year's resolutions, what we resolve to do or resolve to not do in the coming year. So let's get started, of course, with the weather. And Sonia, what's at your top right? Why don't you tell us what your weather is like?
It cold.
How bad?
We'll not get above 30 degrees for the next week and a half.
Wow, wow.
Ooh, ooh.
So I mean, but you're inside and you're warm and
Right. I'm
have
inside. It's right now, it's 22 degrees outside and it says feels like 8.
whoa,
The grass that you used to be able to see, it was 53 degrees earlier in the week. No,
wow. I don't envy you. I do not envy you. Wow. Okay, well, Otto, how about your weather? How's it going?
Well, they're gonna envy me or envy us.
Hmm.
It's
yeah,
like 70 degrees near the water.
Yep.
Sunny and then cloudy, but
Hmm.
pleasant.
Yeah. Just lovely, lovely. And how about you, Cranston? What's it like?
Well, right now it's 57, and I think it was 37 last night, but it kind of warmed up when the sun came out. So it's it's pleasantly chilly. You can get by with a light
Yeah.
sweater, but
Yeah. That's
you
kind of
know,
weather. Like, cool. All right. Well, as we said earlier, we were going to talk about our New Year's resolutions. I don't know how many of you all remember what you resolved to do last year. I know I have no idea what I resolved to do last year and whether I did it at all. So, does anyone else remember what they resolved to do or resolved not to do, and whether you actually undertook any anything, on the way to doing or not doing what it was we pledged that we would do?
well, I can remember what I resolved to do last year because it's
Hmm.
like the brain who is saying, what are we going? We're going to do what we always do, And I
I'll
realized,
take
yeah,
over the
didn't
world.
yeah. And it was the number one thing was better time management, and I know I didn't do that
Okay.
one, so we're gonna try that one
Okay.
again because I got some more time. Um, so that was the number one thing and stuff that I did not quite accomplish, but I'm gonna do better this time, doggone it.
So, how do you propose to do better?
The thing is that you're going to set out designated times. It's kind of like James's thing where he says on Sunday that he will do. That's when he does all of his serious working and shuts everything out. So pick out a time that I'm going to do a task and not get distracted by anything else. So
Okay, cool. Very good. Um,
that's the plan
how
anyway.
anything else that you have resolved to do or to stop doing?
Since I realized that they have all of these shows that they announce, and you're aware of them, but you never actually watch them, and then you come like I never watched any of Shogun because, and then all of a sudden it sucks up every award they have. Like that was the only thing on the air, and I
Mm,
realized that there you see all of these shows that are concluding their runs, and I have only watched maybe one episode or something like that. So I'm going to resolve to do more selective and more diligent viewing for stuff.
all right, sounds good to me. It's very optimistic. So I
Yeah.
just hope that you stay in the groove. Oh, I'm impressed. So how about you, Sonia? What do you resolve to do or resolve not to do? in the coming
I
year?
had resolved to get my company organized, which I haven't finished doing, but I'm close. And I did resolve not to be as harsh to myself, and I'm successfully doing that. I've been really
Yay.
gracious with myself.
Cool. So
So
last year, what did you resolve to do?
yeah, that was last year's. So this
Okay,
year's, I'm
okay.
going to finish up the company stuff, get it registered, get clients,
Hmm.
and continue. And this year is creativity. My focus word is creativity, and
Yeah.
try and be more pump out stuff.
All right. That's good. So you see, pump out stuff. What stuff are you going to be creating this next year? What
I
can we
don't know yet.
look
We'll
forward
see.
to?
Yeah, we'll
All right.
see.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Otto? What are your plans for this year? Your resolutions, and what resolutions did you undertake last year, and were you successful in attaining them?
Can you guys hear me?
Not yet.
You can't hear me now?
Mm-mm. No, you're muted. You're
You can't
unmuted.
hear me on your mic?
You're unmuted. I mean, you're muted.
I'm muted.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
can you hear me when I'm talking?
No, no.
All
You're not
right.
Now
here.
we
You have
can
to
hear you,
unmute.
but it sounds like you're far away.
You have to unmute. Okay, now he's
You're
getting ready to leave the
yeah.
room
You're
so that he can
you're
speak
you're
and
on the
not.
other side of the county, and you're echoed.
Okay, you guys hear me now?
There you go. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So I don't remember what my resolutions were there last year.
No, not one of them.
No,
Or do you recall if you made any at all last year?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't make any last year, do you have anything that you resolved to do or to stop doing um, in this current year?
Well, I like the Sonia thing about not being harsh, so harsh on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to turn that around, not to be so harsh on others. I want to do that. And then I want peace and less anxiety and worry about things that actually are important instead of clickbait. I think we're going to be surrounded by clickbait all around us for the next several years, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to ignore it.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I want to be peaceful. I don't want to be involved in clickbait or have discussions about things that are irrelevant to us becoming better people. I don't want to have a discussion regarding Elon Musk or Donald Trump or who he has in his administration or the Republicans or what the Democrats need to do to turn things around. I don't want to discuss any of that. I don't want to discuss any of it. I want to discuss real things, and
Mhm.
I want to have once again peace and less anxiety.
Okay. All right. Those are great resolutions. All right. I know that for myself, one of the things that I had started doing this year and rolling into do more of next year is not feeling guilt for not allowing people to impose on me. I feel so guilty all the time when I'm imposed on, and I feel like I can't do a thing, and I try to make ways to get things done, and then I feel bad because I know I was able to do that. And why am I doing that? It's like somebody asked me to do a thing at the last minute, and I feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry because I'm mired in problem solving, and I always want to try to solve the problem. So you know what? That's giving me anxiety, and I'm not going to do that anymore. If you come to me in a decent time and say, I need this, it's okay. Well, let's look and see what this is. How can I help you? And if I can't, I'm just saying, I just can't help you with this. And stop becoming anxious. Running, from pillar to post, trying to resolve things, but just causing more anxiety for those who are around me when things aren't done, not because it's something that I couldn't do, but because someone doesn't provide sufficient time and resources to get the thing done. And so if you don't come with the specific time and resources that we need to get it done, I'm just going to say no. and I've started doing that. And I got to tell you, it's very that in itself causes much anxiety when you first start doing it. But after you do it for a while, you say, you know what, this is better. I'm not going to be responsible for doing things for people who don't have responsibility come to me quickly when they know that they're going to have a problem and expect me to pull a rabbit out of the hat. So that's my one of my resolutions or resolve to be more jealous with my time, and the time that I get to spend with my friends and my family, the people that I want to be around, as opposed to people who come always wanting something and then eat up, a whole lot of your time. So I think that is a thing, to become more jealous with my time so that it's spent on and with people that I like and
At
enjoy being around.
at one of my jobs, I used to have a sign on my wall: "An emergency on your part does not consist of one on my part."
Yeah, yeah, I think that's problematic because a lot of times many of us feel like we are required to solve the problem. And so, you know what? I don't have to solve all the problems. You know, because someone
Well,
else, they can help them solve the problem. I don't have to solve the
well,
problem.
one of the things that helps is to remember, they say that the people that always impose on you with things to do at the last minute is they're doing that deliberately. That is their way of manipulating you to solve their problems. And they make you feel guilty, like, well, if you don't do this, then something disastrous is going to happen to me. No,
Right? Right?
it's going to happen because of something you didn't do that you were supposed to. And it
Right.
also gives them a teaching moment that they'll say, well, the next time I do this, I'm going to come correctly and in a
Hmm.
timely manner and not,
Wait till that last moment, throw it
yeah.
in your lap and say,
Hmm.
"Oh, it failed because you didn't do it." So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not. I started doing that this year, and again, I find that to be a very good place to be in.
Hmm.
That I say, no, I don't want to do that, or I just don't feel I can do my best job with the time and resources that you have,
Hmm.
offered to do this, and don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Just that's just the way it is. And I guess time management also for me is going to be a big deal. I swore that this coming year I will not lie again like I did last year and not go to the gym. So this year I think I could count on one hand the amount of times I went to the gym, and please know I pay for it every month. So this year, I am going to get the benefit of the money that I put toward that gym membership. I'm not going to let that money be wasted. And if I'm not doing it after 3 months, I'm going to cancel my gym membership because I'm not going to waste the money on ifs, and possibilities when I'm not doing it. It's a waste of money.
Either that
So
or you get you one of those T-shirts that says, I didn't go to the gym today. This makes 5 years.
5 years in a row, oh
Yeah.
no, that's my favorite. I love that. But I think with regard to things that I want to uh, stop doing, start doing, kind of both the same. Being more jealous with my time, and also being um, really more managing my time better to get things done. And a lot of it's health things too. I think be really
Hmm.
conscious of our health, because you get up in the morning, oh, my body is so tired, I can't get up to do X, Y, and Z. I'm moving so slowly, not getting things done. So yeah, health is really important to really concentrate on getting those health issues taken care of so that I can get up and be not in pain and not, taking too long. My knee, is tricking out on me, and just get the stuff done. Go to the doctor, go to the hospital, get it looked at. And so you need a knee replacement or whatever. Get it done and move on. So those
Hmm.
things, not be afraid to address those health issues. Because I think a lot of times we're afraid to address our health issues. I don't want to hear any bad news. But, sometimes it's not bad news, it's just diagnostics that need
Hmm.
to be done. So that's my other thing, that I'm going to be less. afraid to move forward in my health issues. Uh, there's so many things that you can resolve and they can get better if you start now, getting up and moving around a little, doing the yoga, doing the stretches. These things can help you. I remember we got here, we were on vacation. Now we're going to be leaving tomorrow. Place has got your stairs. You got to walk the stairs, to get upstairs. And like the first day is like the second, first and second day. It's like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. But then you do it, for the next, 5 days. And then it's like, it's not so bad
Hmm.
because I'm doing it all the time and having to go up and down. And you realize, I really need to be doing this more. So that's about the things that I think that I have on my list. And I don't remember what I said I would do last year. Whatever it is, I hope I did it. Like, I hope I worked really hard in getting those things done. And I did do like last year. I said I had a surgery. I don't get my hand done. I had a trigger finger issue. I did get it done, so I'm very happy that I did that. Hmm?
I,
I said that the year before, right? December, November. Yeah, but yeah, that was last year. That's 2023. Mm-hmm. 24, I did the hands, and I'm just gonna, just like a juggernaut, keep moving, getting these health issues dealt with. Because if I'm gonna have to use this machine for the next, 50 years, I better get it maintained well. So how about that? Has anyone else got any health issues that they have sworn in this next year, resolved in the next year to address?
Yeah. Well, I have too many to mention, but what I'm trying to do is be more mindful of things. And I did start one with that I have been able to do the last couple of years. Is you're a little more conscious of what you put in your body. I'm a
Mm,
big nutrition label reader to see, well, what exactly is in here, and if there's something that you don't know what it is, you need to try to find out, because I know there's this and you try to say, well, how do they do that? There was this I was in one of the big box stores, and they had this syrup product that said contains no high fructose corn syrup, exclamation point. And
mhm.
I said, okay, but how can they sell it at this price? And and you look on the back, and it said it had brown rice syrup, which I
Mm.
looked it up and found out that that's just high fructose corn syrup made with rice instead
You
of
gotta be
corn.
kidding.
And
So if you say what brand that was?
it was something they sold at the store that starts with the W, and it was up there with the
Okay.
other and everything. And you said, okay, that's what they were doing and stuff, but it's just they're just poisoning you under another name, So, oh, this is
Wow.
healthier, so
And it's the same thing.
you have to ask the right
Instead of
questions.
corn, it's rice.
It's rice, yeah, but it's the same
Wow.
concept.
Wow.
And
The
That's
other
then
thing
interesting.
I was gonna say, the other name they have now is inverted sugar,
yeah,
which if you depends on how they invert the sugar. If they do it the normal way, it's just simple syrup. So it's water and sugar. But there's also a chemical process that nobody knows what's involved, and they don't have to disclose how they did that.
Mm.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I had this bottle of ginger ale, and it said contains ginger ale and then other
Mhm.
natural flavors. And I'm thinking, well,
Huh.
what other natural flavor could it be other than ginger based?
Ginger, right?
And they don't tell you. You can't find out. It just has ingredients on the back, and sometimes it'll say it contains this, and then other
Hmm.
ingredients. So
Right, right.
so
But the
you
thing is,
have,
this, I've had ginger ale that has no ginger in it. And that's some
yeah.
craziness.
Hmm.
And then can they call it ginger ale if there's no ginger in it?
It said that it's probably legally they can do it. Morally, they probably shouldn't do it. But
I think it's ridiculous to sell ginger ale with no ginger in it.
Yeah.
Ginger flavored ale is what they should
Yeah.
call it, you know.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Ginger. Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's one of the things and stuff that really broke my heart is I grew up on Alaga syrup because that was like the good stuff and everything. And it was made
Uh,
with real cane sugar. And they stopped doing that years ago. So now they put probably on the bottle original flavor. And I'm thinking, no, if it's not with real cane sugar, that's not
and how
exactly
can
the
they get the
original flavor.
flavor?
So yeah.
Where's the original flavor come from?
From that good old cane sugar. And I'm trying to think why, other than
Hmm.
somebody figured out that you can get 50,000 gallons of high fructose corn syrup for what like 1 gallon of actual cane sugar costs, and that's why they have they switched it out, but it's not the same. So
Yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of how it is with a lot of things now. You look at it and it's like today we went out and had pancakes, and I was bemoaning the fact that pancakes don't taste the way that the buckwheat pancakes used to taste at IHOP.
hmm
And I mean, in my mind, I remember exactly how they tasted. And you get other pancakes, and none of them taste like that.
hmm
You know, you just never get another pancake that tastes like that. And people say, "Oh, these pancakes in this place are really, really great," but it's not that. It's not that
hmm
buckwheat pancake taste that they had at IHOP, which is like just that in my mind is the taste that you have when you have a pancake. And
hmm
I think about what is the other thing? Oh, something else that was had like that. Where you get it, and the taste is in your head. Oh, apples. The taste of an apple in my mind is the taste of a Fuji apple, because
hmm
that's what I associate the taste of apples with. So that's those people should like the pancake people should resolve with their New Year's resolutions to make the pancakes taste the right way.
yeah. Well,
Make them taste the. Mhm.
I was
I
in
mean,
a
and I
fa-
know we got. Well, so we know a few people are in watching, listening in, and you're welcome to join the comments and discuss what your resolutions are this year, what they were last year, how successful you were in getting those things to work out, and what you're going to do this coming year if they did not work the way you thought. What are you going to do differently this coming year to actually get those resolutions to resolve the way that you.
Yeah, well, one thing is I think that is sometimes we just have to say no to ourselves and to the marketplace because there are all of these things that are food involved and stuff like this thing about all of these instant meals and everything that people say I don't have time to spend an hour cooking. Well, an hour isn't that much time. And the idea is you can buy these prepared, prepackaged, chef prepared,
Hmm.
meals and everything that you throw into those, I guess those infrared ovens and everything.
Right.
And oh, this is good eating and stuff. No, it's not. So we need to stop letting the market dictate our behavior that way. I was in a fast food restaurant just basically to get something to drink because the food is actually awful. But I was looking around at the people getting all of this stuff, and I realized that if you didn't have to go out and kill it yourself and cook it, that you'll eat it no matter what
Hmm.
because it's convenient, it's quick, and you go
Right.
out. And it's not. The thing is that's an investment in yourself to say I'm going to eat better than just what they nuke it in the back and here it is, so you can go. So
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard one. Resolving to eat better is very
mhm,
difficult because we have so many things that are right out there in your face, and you're working, and so oh, here's some chips, and before you know it,
mhm,
they're all gone because you're eating and working at the
yeah,
same time and not focusing on the fact that maybe you shouldn't have it there, but you feel like it's just a few chips, your pretzels, whatever,
hmm
and then we lose our appetite for the stuff that we need to take in order to
hmm
actually run our bodies.
And there are healthier snacks out there and stuff,
Okay.
that we can do that and everything. And again, it's like you just have to say that I know it's going to be a little more time consuming than just grabbing something off the shelf, but in the long run, it's worth it.
Hmm. So, with
And
regard to you say that there's healthier options for snacks, so going into the new year with people who are trying to resolve to do better, just going around, do you all have any suggestions as to what it is they should be reaching for, as opposed to, our Cheetos, and our Ruffles and
Hmm.
um, things of that ilk, little candies, it's a small, peanut butter cup, it's the minis, a handful of those, right? That's what we say.
Hmm.
So what do we do, you know, as we try to resolve to do better? What can people reach for? I mean, one of the things we always say is, fresh fruits.
Hmm.
But we know also that, a lot of people live in food deserts and it's difficult to get
Hmm.
fruits. And a lot of times fruit is very, very expensive. So, how do we tell people to stay away from these other snack type foods without telling them something to stand in for it?
well, one of the things I did was I resolved the canned chickpeas, and I just
Mm-hmm.
figured out that the echo might have been my computer trying to do two things at once.
Mm-hmm.
um, Canned chickpeas, drain the liquid
Mm-hmm.
and keep that for that's aquafaba. You keep that to make mayonnaise, which actually tastes better than the store made mayonnaise. Um, and you can use it as a meringue substitute for and sweeten it up and use it as a meringue substitute. So you get your sweet snack that way, and it's protein based, so it's a healthier one. Or then roast up the chickpeas in whatever your favorite flavor until it gets slightly crunchy, or if you like it even more crunchy, your texture, your preference. And it's a great little, it feels like when you're popping into cheese balls if you mix it in with some cheese and stuff. Or you can make it simulate potato chips if you use like barbecue seasoning on it and let it get really crispy. And then it's
I
all
know.
protein.
Now I cannot eat hummus. It just
Yeah.
makes my stomach feel like razor blades. So it's eating food. I'm serious. For me, it's like eating razor blades. So
Well,
it's
I love it, but I can't do too much tahini. That's what part of it that gets me in. But yeah,
mm,
just if you just let it crisp up, it'll look like the cheese ball without until you put whatever seasoning you want on it.
mm,
But you can, if you're craving barbecue, roll it in some barbecue seasoning.
mm.
If you're
So do
craving Italian,
you
you
do
roll
that?
it in. Yeah,
Do you make that now and it works
yeah,
out?
yeah. And
Mm,
it's all protein, so it makes you feel a lot fuller. But warning, one can does go rather quickly.
Hmm.
But then again, it's all protein. And if you have an air fryer or you know how to roast it well, it's not
mm,
that much extra oil.
mm.
It's just
All right,
usually enough oil to make the seasoning stick on it.
cool. I never even thought of that. That's a new thing for me.
Somebody said you could do it with a whole lot of other beans, but I'm not likely to try those.
Yeah, understood.
Hmm.
So anything else anybody has that can be used as a substitute, for our usual snack food moving forward if we're trying to do something good for ourselves before. Now, what I did want to say that I don't do it, my daughter does, but she gets on online in the morning early and gets her yoga mat out and just finds like on YouTube people who are they have their own like yoga channels. You're able to do your yoga in the morning or the afternoon, whatever, but you can do it at home. You don't have to go all the way out to your gym or whatever, or maybe precursor to going to your gym to roll out of bed onto your yoga mat. I think the person is called, I think Adrian is the person that she does the do that she follows, and she does yoga. She does it with her dog, but she has generally the I guess sunrise salutation type stuff. But then some that focuses on different parts of the body, that are, extra work in those areas. So if you're resolving to do this stuff and you want to get started, but you don't feel comfortable being out around other people as you're trying to start out in your yoga practice, get your yoga mat, turn on YouTube, you put on your big TV or your small screen, and listen and watch and then get into it that way so that you aren't missing out because there are opportunities to actually do this type of stuff without having to go to the gym. You can get on YouTube and follow some of these instructors.
They also have great um, chair yoga.
Hmm.
I'm still experimenting with that, and I've been looking at the stretching exercises for seniors because they
Hmm.
tend to be more gentle to lead you into
Hmm.
doing more things. So I figured if they're promoting this for 80-year-olds, it'll ease me into the routine of doing it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good thing. So,
And
any other? Go on.
also, a lot of the devil phone and stuff also contains health things, and I don't know where it came from, but it has mine has a fitness tracker, and it tells you, say, well, you haven't closed your fitness circles today and stuff. You need X number of steps to get to whatever it is and stuff like that. So those things can make you more mindful and kind of help remind you of whatever little daily fitness goals you have and everything. So,
Hmm. Maybe that, have the reminders for your fitness goals
mhm.
set out. That's a good idea.
Hold on, my roommate has a program where it's a game that and she you may help your little virtual pet live by doing things that reminds you, did you do your 64 ounces of water,
Hmm.
and share that way you're sharing it with your pet type thing. Did you brush your teeth? Did you teach your pet how does she's supposed to brush her teeth twice a day, things like that.
Hmm.
So it's gamifies the experience to get you into the habit of doing it.
Yeah, and also that we would likely do something for, other people or your pets that you would do for yourself.
Hmm.
So reminding to do it for someone else is probably more helpful to us than doing it for ourselves.
Right. So that's probably my next task is to add that onto my phone to
Hmm.
motivate me to do more and being gracious into myself in that aspect.
Mhm.
But I have been cooking at home more. We have been cooking at home more. We haven't been eating out as much.
Hmm.
So that, like Cranston said, makes you aware of what those labels say
Mhm.
Hmm.
and what not to do. So now that we've mastered cooking at home more often, we're experimenting with seasonings and trying to find like snack recipes and things like that.
Yeah, it's really good. Right. Um, Autumn, did you have anything that you wanted to add for people moving forward into 2025 to help them attain their goals for their resolutions? Hmm? Excuse me? Oh, okay. I don't know if I can. Let's try it. Did that do it? No, it didn't.
I don't know. I don't think so. You hear
Yeah,
me?
we did. Yeah.
Okay. Um, not much. Just you know, pay attention and you know, don't believe everything that's put out there and said, and check and verify things, and don't get excited. Don't become excitable. That's pretty much.
Mhm. Okay. All right.
Like with Otto is, not paying attention to what this person's saying or this person's doing. I'm trying my darndest not to watch anything political over the weekends. That's my time. Like you're being jealous with your time. Nope, weekends. I don't care who said what. I
Hmm.
can't do anything about it over the weekend.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't even watch the clips. Don't watch the news.
Nope. And I don't mind. I don't want to hear people talk about things that are negative. Oh my gosh, this thing happened to this person, and it's that okay, that happened, and how can I do anything about that?
Hmm.
It's not something that I can resolve or change or help with. Then all it is just this gossip there. You're just telling me something that is traumatic that I can't resolve for anyone, or there's nothing I can do to help someone with. So I said, I don't want to talk about those things. I don't want to hear about those things. If you hear online somebody said this about that, or who, no, I don't. You say people say these things to traumatize us, and I cannot afford to be traumatized all the time with things that may or may not even be true, just made to get us all in the dither over whatever it is, just to make us constantly in fear, constantly in doubt, and I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, now I have a somewhat modified version of that in that I do want to know what's going on so you'll have some idea what is happening and it doesn't catch you by surprise. But the thing is that you have to be the same way that you do with your body. You try to watch what you put into your body, you try to watch what you put into your head, and
Absolutely.
sort of you question everything, and it's at first it kind of annoyed me, but now I kind of look forward to it. That you have to fact check everything, even the stuff that you go along with, and you have to look for the
That's true.
telltale signs that say, okay, there was a thing that came up where there was somebody who had this splash headline that said about this upcoming television show. They said is going to be awful and a disappointment and everything. So I said, okay, well, what is this? So you see this guy, and the thing is, these people have decent production value sometimes, and it makes it
Hmm.
look like you know what you're talking about. But then the first thing you tell yourself is, well, this person does not have any kind of media training. They just watch a lot of
Hmm.
stuff, and that makes it,
Hmm.
which does not necessarily disqualify them. And sometimes this person was honest enough to say, "Well, I saw this and it was awful." And then he said, "But the version I saw had not
Hmm.
been completed. It hadn't been edited. It didn't have any music. It didn't have this, that, and the other, and blah 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 and stuff like that." And I'm thinking, how can you say this thing is bad and stuff, and it's not really complete? So once you look at that and said, "Okay, I can put this person's opinion in it." If this was Martin
Hmm.
Scorsese or somebody who knew what you still had to do, and they were saying this is it, you say, yeah, okay, maybe this person knows what they're talking about. But if you say this, you trash this thing, then so how
Hmm.
disqualified you are to offer this opinion. That will allow you to say, well, I think I'm going to trust my own judgment, because I'll
Right.
wait till the
Right.
complete thing comes out.
Hmm. So I mean, I think that again, we watch our bodies, watch our minds, be careful. We're talking jealously guarding these
Mm,
things, and we should not make them accessible to everyone that
yeah.
has an opinion. And
Mhm.
and then we are torn between this, that, and the other things that don't even have foundation, and
Mhm.
they're placing them out into the world as if they're fact. And I think people become very fatigued as a result.
Mhm.
So definitely, minding this store as well, our psychological store.
And also letting go of things. Um, I found my brain towards the end of 2024 just having way too much stuff in it.
Hmm.
And so a friend introduced me to a program that can act as a second brain. So I'm trying to now get into the habit of every night or whenever I feel the overwhelm happening, just dump everything out of the brain. So
How do you do that?
this one lets you write down everything and then you can go and categorize it so that if you want to
Hmm.
find it later, but it does it on date wise. So if I remember, for instance, on Thursday I had this thought, I can go back and look and what I wrote down for Thursday and
Hmm.
then expand on it. So it's not lost. It's not on a scrap of paper, me trying to find the scrap of
Yes,
paper.
yes,
It's
I
all
know
in
that
one
feeling.
place. I can think about it clearly and then
Mhm.
add on to it if I want to, or refine it or change, all that stuff. So, and as I'm also planning to use it for like the books that I read and when I help friends with their editing facts about their world, so I don't have to keep
Mhm.
asking them questions over and
Yeah,
over
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
And it's also got a great note taking thing, so I can highlight the PDF and it'll come across on the note taker, and I can put my notes about, okay, on this line, here's what I thought. So I don't have to hunt down paper or now what was I highlighted, but why did I highlight it? And things like that. So that I can hopefully keep the important stuff, but lose all that trivial stuff that I don't really need to care about or know about.
Mhm.
But at least it's out of the brain and not clogging something.
Right. Right. Well, that's good. Good idea. Well, anybody else got any suggestions in assisting to achieving these resolutions? Mhm.
Well, I had a class ages ago, and the instructor was the guy that the first day when everybody came in, they were like put off with him because he was giving us all these rules, like my office hours. If you want to see me, it's between like 3 and 5, and don't come in
Mhm.
before that. Don't come in after that. I don't do
Mhm.
things because I go home and spend time with my family and all of this. And everybody was kind of put off because everybody else was telling you, oh, come by anytime and stuff like that. But by the end of the class, everybody liked the way that he could prioritize things.
Mhm.
And one of the
Right.
assignments he gave us was you always say that you don't have time to do the stuff you need to do. So he had us over the weekend to keep a log of what we did and how long we spent doing it. And
Mhm.
everybody came in Monday shocked to find out how much time we just wasted with stuff that, hey, I'm going to do this. But then you take an hour and a half to actually get up and go do it.
Right.
Or you just sat there and did that. So you find out if you can prioritize your time and actually said, okay, I'm going to do this at this time, and then I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm not going to, check to see who texted me.
Mhm.
I'm not going to, do this, that, and the other and stuff. That you can find that you can have more time to do the things that you said you wanted to do
Mhm.
than you actually did.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the things I have to get those things put blinders on. When I go in to check my email for, the one letter or the person's called me, and then I have this long line of email messages, and I
Hmm.
feel like I need to respond to these, just check them out and see what's in them. And that's the thing to say no. That
Hmm.
do that at such and such a time and no other time. Only respond to the things that I need to respond to. And
Hmm.
do not get mired in whatever this offer is that you just can't, pass up. No,
Hmm.
don't open the offer.
Mm-hmm.
Just pass it and come back later on tonight, as you're decompressing and read through all those. So yeah, that's one. I have to teach myself not to open all the emails, just only the ones that are necessary, and delete the ones that I know I'm not going to read
Hmm.
all.
Well, that's what I did the other day, and I was so proud of myself because it just hit me. I was looking at my inbox, and I had almost 22,000 emails in it, and I said, that's
Wow.
absolutely ridiculous."
I
And
don't
I
say wow. I'm just as bad. Uh-huh.
and I found out what it was is there are all of these things like they're like you look at the ones that said, yeah, okay, this is probably too much. The two things is time and then who it's from. So
Hmm.
if it's something from, because I found the earliest one I still had an email from 2021. And I'm thinking, why do I still have that in there? And so if it's been that long and you haven't addressed it, then it means it's kind of like the Marie Kondo thing and stuff, which took
Yep.
me a long time to embrace that. But you said like a book that you haven't read in a reasonable amount of time, you're probably not going to. So you need
Hmm.
to get rid of it. And then
Yeah.
you find out there are things like it was says anything that says breaking news and it's like 3 years ago, it's no
Yes.
longer breaking news and whatever it
Yeah.
is, you didn't know it. So
I yeah yeah I,
so
I I know that one too well.
So just by doing that, I managed to, in one evening, knock it down from 21,000 items to under 300, just by getting all the
Wow,
stuff together. Well, another thing is
I
like
do that.
on things like Variety, which has really good stuff and everything. But what they always do is during an award show, they always, every time somebody gets an award, they send out an update on it. And so you find out that, if it happened like 3 months ago, you should know by now who got what and what they said and
Yeah.
all of that. So
Mhm.
get rid of all of those. So
Well, that's good too.
yeah.
Yeah, we should sit down and figure out, between us, all these um, different methods that we have in order to, get our priorities straight moving into 2025. But I know we probably won't, so I have to put it out there for you all,
Mhm.
to listen to this again, go back, huh?
Keep track.
Yeah, keep track of it. Yeah, go back, listen to this again, and
Yeah.
yeah, and be able to keep track of where you like, with Cranston saying start out with like 20,000 and dropped it
Mhm.
down to like three, so that's great, and that's something we can visibly see the change, the difference. So we should be doing things, number one, that maybe are not measurable, but other things that are. Like, for instance, how many, say, 500 words a day that I'm going to write. I have to do 1,000 or whatever. But it's like commit to 500 words a day and get it done, and be, at the point where you can promise yourself $1,000 a day, then 1,000 words a day, and then actually do it. And then any other items that you are pulling together for marketing. Give yourself time to pull your stuff together and time to know this is when I will be done with this project so that I'm ready to do the marketing, to do that calendaring backwards to get
Hmm.
things done. And actually calendaring to begin with. Because I think every year, something happens, a holiday, a celebration, it's like, I should have been doing something for that. That has to be done probably at the very beginning of the year or the end of the year. Prepare you for those things that you want to do, figure out exactly how you're going to celebrate it, and then get it done, prepare to get it done. But I think that thing too, the time management, and we all have to, all of us, because there's so many things that we want to do. We're so interested in so many things and interacting with so many things that time management is just very difficult. I think if we all continue working on it, talking about it, doing it, not being afraid to say, I didn't do that thing that I had listed, and have, people support you saying, okay, can you break it down to pieces, and get it done, get parts of it done so that you're not so behind and move forward. Because what happens is you don't do the things and you get embarrassed about the fact that you didn't do it, and then you get even further behind because you won't ask for help. So,
Mhm.
One of the things for time management that I've learned, but I'm still learning how to implement, is put
mhm.
the personal stuff on the calendar first. If
Yeah,
you know somebody's birthday's coming and you're not
hmm,
going to do anything but that birthday, block it off of
yeah,
your calendar so you're not tempted. It's already gone.
right,
Um,
right.
every Saturday I have a block of it's supposed to be my writing time, and people keep
Hmm,
chipping at it. And then I make okay, so I didn't get to do 10 to 2, so it'll be 11 to 3 instead of
hmm.
this. But it's
That's a
on my
good
calendar and
system.
reminding me that that's what I said I
Hmm.
was going to do.
Right.
Um, so like I have my roommate's birthday on that calendar. As
Hmm.
tempting as it is, I try not to schedule anything for that day. Because it's usually falls 7, 2 out of 7 times. It's not going to be on a weekend.
Right.
So go ahead and block that day off on the business calendar,
That's
knowing that
right.
okay, no,
This is
from
an
here
important
to
day.
here, this is
Right.
important time.
And I'm not going to schedule anything during this time. So, yeah,
Right.
I think it's a good idea to get out my calendar and start blocking things off. And then also giving like those, like I like set false deadlines to say, okay, let's do this day. But knowing that I've got, several more days so that I get the false deadline, no, and then my drop dead deadline. I
Yeah.
always set false deadlines.
And
That has
recognize the
helped me.
difference between a resolution, a goal, and a deadline, timeline,
Mhm.
Yeah.
deadline. We're resolving to be kinder to ourselves. We're
Hmm.
resolving to be more cognizant. Well, the goal can be I'm going to go out and read more this many food recipes, so I can be aware of and research this many food additives, so I know what they are and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were resolving a whole lot, but we got to sit down and actually figure out the goals to make
Actually,
that all
how
happen.
yeah, how is going to implement
Right.
this resolution? All right. Well,
And as
I'm
soon as
looking
I
at the
figure
clock and I
it out, I'll
know.
let you know.
All right. Well, I'm looking at our clock and we're a little bit over time now because we are, of course, we're traveling here at least for tomorrow. I'm trying to jealously take back, my time, go out and look at the water before I got to go be landlocked again. So, we thank you all for listening in with our New Year's resolutions. Hope that it's been helpful in constructing some of your own and giving you some ideas of how to implement some of these, um, I guess, the methods to actually attain or achieve these goals. So, again, we'll be back again, of course, here next week in the Other Hood. Hope you'll be joining us. Any other um, birthdays, celebrations, or any other type that we want to talk about before we close up?
My roomie's mother's birthday is Monday. She's celebrating her 70th. I know she probably won't watch this because she thinks that all we do is talk about geeky stuff. But
Oh, but
just
happy
on the off
birthday to
chance
her.
that she does, happy birthday.
Birthday to her. All right. Anybody else that we've
And
got
my
birthdays
cousin's
or other
my
celebrations?
and then my baby cousin's birthday is coming up. Same day as Elvis's birthday. And I know he hates that comparison, but that's the only way my brain can remember the actual date. I usually remember January, but it's the only way I can actually remember the date of it. So
Well,
happy
happy
birthday to
birthday to
him
you.
too.
All right.
Okay, well,
Cranston, anything?
there are worse things than stuff than Elvis's birthday. And speaking of birthdays, I have one coming up Tuesday, so which is the day before Elvis's birthday, but,
Whoa!
but the same day as Zora Neale Hurston's birthday. Different year, but
What?
same day as that. So
Well, happy birthday. You and Zora Hurston.
yeah.
Woo! Hey! Hey! So are we anything planned for the big day?
Actually, it's turning stuff down because I've had two people who've said, "Yeah, I'm going to take you out and feed you that day." So I got to figure out, which one is one of those things. And you've probably had something happen with somebody that they're doing you a favor, but it ends up
Uh,
costing you more than it did if it hadn't done you a favor. So
yes. Well, there you go. But that's wonderful, though. Happy birthday.
yeah,
All right. All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate you all having joined us here in the Other Hood. You have a wonderful remainder of your weekend. Have a very productive week. We'll be back again next week here. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Good night.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Yeah, Happy
Year.
New Year.